Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we are making a pine cone ornament using one of these egg-shaped styrofoam balls. Now, I found these at Hobby Lobby. They didn't have them at my Walmart, so I did have to go to a craft store to find them. But you could probably find these online and have them shipped pretty easy if you didn't want to travel to your craft store. But if you have one local, head over there and pick it up. So you'll need the styrofoam ball. This is a 3-inch, by the way, or close to 3-inch. Let me tell you for sure. It's like a 2.8 by 3.8 inch, so it's somewhere in that area. But 3 inches will work if you can't find this exact. You're going to need some straight pins, and the only thing that's really important about the straight pin is that it's the kind that have the little tiny heads. You don't want any bulk, and you want them to be flat, so you want flat head pins. And then paper, and it only calls for one 12 by 12 piece of paper, so that's pretty cool. Now the other thing I'm going to add to it at the end is going to be this embellishment for the top. I bought these at Hobby Lobby, and you get 2 of them. You don't have to have these. You can use just about anything from your stash that you can work this and make this happen on top. But I thought, how super simple is this? And a little bit of ribbon, and we are ready to go. Let's make an ornament. The first thing we're going to do is cut our paper down to 1-inch strips. That's super easy, right? I love when things are repetitive. I told you that before. If I'm going to make a bunch of something, which I feel like these would be a lot of fun to make for everybody you know, I like repetitive. We're going to cut this sheet into 1-inch by 12-inch strips. Then we're going to come back and cut it into 1-inch squares. So once we get all this cut, we'll do our squares. So now I'm cutting those strips into 1-inch squares. And while I'm doing that, I want to tell you about today's video. Today's video is a collaboration between myself and several other talented crafters. We'll be doing an ornament a day this week. So I'm kicking us off with this ornament. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Stacy Williams will be doing an ornament for you guys on her channel. Then on Wednesday, Gareth from G's Creation will be doing a video for you. On Thursday, Tracy from Gift Basket Appeal will be doing her video. And then on Friday, wrapping everything up, will be Michelle from Creative Shell Bear. Now, I'm going to link everybody below so you won't miss any of the videos. And you'll get to see all our cool ornaments. Now, where did our ideas for this come from? Super cool also. I said to my friend Gareth, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if my subscribers sent me ornaments and I could decorate a tree in my house with all ornaments from my subscribers? Well, they have come through. On Facebook, he put out a message about that, and so many of you have sent me ornaments. It has been awesome, and I have loved every minute of it. But they've been so good, and we wanted to show you guys how to make a lot of them. So if you'd like to see that, there is a video coming that will have all the ornaments on the tree where they have sent them in to me. And if you'd like to send an ornament, it's not too late. I'll have my P.O. box listed below for you. All right, I'm going to finish cutting these guys, and we'll move on. So here's all of our squares from that one piece of paper. I'm going to move those aside, and we're going to start with one and get it prepped and ready to go and show you how to get started. Now what you want to do with your 1-inch squares is you want to come to the center of the bottom and you want to fold them in points. Now it's probably really easy if you have a cutting mat like I do here for you to be able to kind of pick them up and fold them in. And let me show you a little trick. If you have a bone folder, you can sit the bone folder at the edge. I'm going to fold it from this corner here, and then you can hold the piece with your bone folder and then fold it up to get it started. And you can use your grid mat to help you. Now here's something that's really important. They don't have to be perfect. That's what I really want you to know. You're not looking for perfection. You're just looking for a point in this paper that looks like this. And this one is not perfect by any means. But see this point that I've got? That's what's going to help us get the pine cone look. So you're going to do that with all your pieces of paper. Now if you don't want to have to measure, just do it by hand. Just fold up a corner and fold up a corner, and you'll be just fine when it's all over, okay? So do those. We'll come back together once you've got them all folded. So I've been working for a bit, I'm not gonna lie. This has been about 15 minutes of me folding little squares. But here's what I've done. I've learned kind of a system. You just put it in your hand and go. Don't measure, don't worry if they're not perfect. The only thing you really want is a point. That's what we're looking for. So if this messes up when I get to the good part, we'll see if I'm telling you wrong. But you fold a bunch of these. Like you literally fold 144. So now we have all of these folded and ready to go. If you're watching a movie or something, that was super easy. I actually watched a YouTube video, so it was super easy to do. And now I'm going to open these little guys and show you how to get started. Now, of course, I'm going to have styrofoam everywhere. Okay, you're going to go ahead and open up your pins. You might even want to take some out and put them onto your work surface just so you can kind of spread them out and pick them up. This will be tedious work. When it's done, it'll be something that someone will want to keep forever. Now you want to take 2 pieces, and on the eggy point, the smaller point of the egg, this is where you'll want to start with your first 2 pieces. Put one piece on one side, the other opposite of it, okay? And you're going to do that until those pieces touch. So push them until they touch. Can you see they're touching here, and you see how I have them laid across from each other. Now you're going to take 2 pins per piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put one on, and I'll have to talk you through this one, and then I'll show you on the second one. So right here in the corner, I'm going to press that one in with the pin, and then this corner gets a pin. I'll show you in just a second. I just got to have my fingers that'll be able to hold it. All right, so you see that? So I've put a pin here and a pin here, and now I'm going to go to the other side, making sure they're touching, okay, to get us started good, to get us a good beginning point. Then I'm going to put a pin on one side, like so, and a pin on the other. Now, I honestly think this is the way to do this. It's going to be tedious and time-consuming, and if you were trying to use a glue, it would be miserable. So now you have this, okay? Now you're going to take a piece and come to this other portion and kind of close that together, and you're just kind of you're trying to get these pieces all even on the end, and you're kind of closing it in. It fits right in that space really well. So we'll put another pin here, and another pin on the other side. Now, I will tell you something I think I have discovered. I think the more simple the paper, the better. And if the pattern doesn't have to be specific, that's even better. Like if you don't, like mine is text, so I had to make sure I was folding the right portion of the paper. So if you don't want this to take too long, if you use something that was maybe floral, you could really get going, or either just lay your papers out so you can see what you're working with, so everything's laid the same way. So this is the point or the tip of the pine cone. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take these pieces of paper and you're going to alternate. You're going to go between where they line up. So you see how I'm doing this? It's probably going to be easier once I put this into place and then show you how it's laying. So put this guy in. So you can see I have one here, and then I split the difference, okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to split this difference. And I'm just letting my points come about halfway down, halfway back from the last one. So put one here. And you'll want to make more of these than you think you're going to need. This 144 is probably more than I need, but I want to be sure I have plenty. Now I'm going to split the difference here. All right, so I split the difference on all those. I'm going to put one here. Now I'm going to come back and do the same. Okay, so we have that first set of 4 on, and then I went through and did it. Every place those met, we put another one. Now I'm going to start the next row. In this row, I'm going to move back a little bit. You want them to stagger. So you see, this is the point of our pine cone. We want this one to come back a little bit. So I'm just going to come back about 1/8 of an inch back from the last one I put in, and stab it again and get it to stay in place. Then I'm going to go between the next two. I'm going to bring it back a little bit and stagger it and pin it into place. Okay, same thing here. You can see where these two are. I'm going to come back a little bit. Oop, got too many. Come back a little bit. Kind of lining it up with my, my last one. I'm not worried about it being perfect. You know why? Because pine cones aren't perfect in nature, so we're not worried about that. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep going. Anywhere there's a gap, I'm just going to stagger back a little bit. Kind of trying to keep it a little bit even with my last row. Okay? And pin it into place. Now don't worry if you can see the styrofoam through the ball the way I'm holding it like this. You're not going to hold this like that. You're going to hold it facing in there, like a pine cone, so you won't be able to see that. Alright, you're just going to continue around in between every one you just placed, pulling back just a little bit from the last one. That's about 1/4 of an inch from the tip up there. And pin them in place. Now something I'm seeing as I go further back, it's really important to pay attention to the points of the pine cone more than the placement in the back. Look where you think they need to go and put them there. Like, you may not get them in the exact same spot every time, but it's more important to look at that. And they don't have to be perfect. Again, pine cones aren't perfect. Kind of just put the points where you need them to be to kind of fill in and keep your spacing or keep your points looking correctly. Looking correct. Correctly did not fit there. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm still going. We're just going to keep placing pine cone points. So what I tell you guys, if this is one of those projects I tell you about that looks bad before it looks good, you're going to be like, this is not working, this is not working. But I promise it's working. Just keep going. So now I'm on to, I don't know, row number 57. I don't know. I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, so the pine cone is covered all except the very top, and I'll show you that in just a second. Now, I think I did pretty good. I only stabbed myself once, only bent one pin in half. So I think that's pretty good odds. I had this many left, which is a good bit, but it's still only one piece of paper. And if I'm making multiples, I have a lot left. I probably could use 2 pieces of paper and get 3 pine cones. Now I have this ribbon, and it's kind of a gold, pretty ribbon, and I'm going to put it at the top to be the loop hanger for my ornament. I just want to see how long I want it. I want it a little longer than normal because I want you to really be able to see it with the greenery I'm going to put on top. So I'm going to cut this right there, and we're just going to use straight pins to put this in. So I'm going to hold this at the top and see how it's going to cover that blank spot we had. I'm just going to run some straight pins in. Now you can hot glue these pins at this point if you want to put them in with some hot glue first, and that way you know they're not going anywhere. But I'm going to show you something. I put in 3 to be really sure, and now I'm going to find the center portion here so that when it holds up, it'll be coming out of the middle right there. Let me show you that again. I'm just going to hold this like this and make sure I'm at the middle. And I'm going to stick a pin in that goes at an angle, just like that. And I'm going to do that with like 2 or 3 more again. I'm going to take those and stick them at an angle. And that way, they won't pull straight out. Now this one I'm going to put at the other angle. I'm going to send it the other direction. So it's got lots of pins at many angles. And it doesn't weigh anything anyway. It's a very light ornament. And now it's time for the pretties. Now this is one of those don't blink or you'll miss it moments again, okay? This little piece that I picked up from Hobby Lobby has this circle on the back. I'm going to put hot glue here, and I'm going to feed this ribbon through that circle. I'm going to go ahead and do that now and feed the ribbon through. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen. It's going to sit on the top like this when I get it glued down, and then we're going to place it where we want it because it's all wired. So I'm just going to flip this over. So I'm going to start with glue on one side here. Place that where it needs to go, and then I'm going to work on the other side. And I'll just work my way around the whole piece. And there's that side. I'm going to come underneath this side. We'll let those hold and cool off for a second, and we'll move around. I'm going to go around and just keep adding hot glue so that it'll all stay down. Now once that's cooled off enough, like I said, these are wired pieces. You can then move them around where you want them to go. Just kind of play with them and get them to kind of fill in at the bottom and make it look nice and pretty. So there you go, guys. That is the finished ornament, and I think it is so pretty. And it's one piece of paper, a styrofoam ball, little piece of ribbon, and some foliage. Isn't it so pretty? Thank you guys so much for all of the beautiful ornaments you've been sending me. I love them so much, and I will have a video of the tree up this week so you guys can see what it looks like. If you're interested in sending an ornament to me, if you didn't get to, it was pretty much just announced on Facebook, so you probably didn't hear about it. The P.O. box is in the description below. Please do not feel obligated. It's just been a wonderful thing to have a tree that I can look at, and it's all you guys' handmade work. And we had people over on Thanksgiving, and they saw the tree, and they were just like, I cannot believe the talent of your subscribers. And it is true. You guys are an amazingly talented group of people. Also, don't forget to check out the other amazingly talented crafters that are participating in this collab with me. Tomorrow, you'll see Stacy Williams of Love That Bug, and she's doing a great ornament for you. I'll have her link below. And then every day this week, you'll get a new ornament, and they're all linked below for you. The channels will be linked, and you'll be able to go check them out. Be sure to subscribe while you're there and tell them that you really appreciate all that they do for you. All right, guys, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.